Let's talk about something that most people don't want to admit, but almost everyone has been touched by: porn. For some, it's casual. For others, it becomes a trap they can't escape. Porn addiction is real, and it doesn't just affect your private life. It affects your psychology, your brain, your relationships, and your confidence. So, what is porn addiction? Psychologists define it as compulsive use of pornography despite negative consequences, like lost time, lack of motivation, or damaged relationships. It's not just a bad habit. It's when your brain gets hooked on artificial stimulation that rewires how you see sex, people, and even yourself. Psychology shows us why it's so common. Porn is accessible, private, and instantly rewarding. It offers an escape from stress, loneliness, or boredom. But the problem is, it trains the mind to chase fake pleasure instead of real connection. Over time, people start needing more extreme content to feel the same effect, and natural intimacy feels less exciting. Neurology explains why porn hits so hard. Watching porn floods the brain with dopamine, the same chemical released by drugs, gambling, or alcohol. The reward system in the brain, especially the nucleus accumbens, learns to associate arousal with pixels on a screen, not with real human interaction. Over time, the brain builds tolerance, needing more and more stimulation. This is why many addicted users escalate in content or spend hours searching for the perfect video. Meanwhile, the prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain that controls discipline and decision making, gets weaker with every relapse. Behaviorism shows us how the cycle repeats: trigger, watch, release, relief. The brain rewards the behavior, reinforcing the loop. Every time someone feels stressed or lonely and turns to porn, they teach their brain, this is how I cope. Over time, the habit becomes identity. Philosophy has warned about this for centuries. Thinkers from Plato to modern Stoics argued that uncontrolled desire leads to slavery. Porn addiction is the modern example of that truth. When you can't control your urges control you. Let's make this real with examples. A student plans to study but wastes hours on porn. The short term pleasure steals the long term growth. Someone in a relationship turns to porn instead of intimacy, and their partner feels ignored, inadequate, or betrayed. Even single people report feeling drained, unmotivated, and disconnected from real attraction because porn consumed their energy. So, what's the difference between someone addicted to porn and someone who isn't? A non addicted person may watch occasionally, but can stop without struggle. Their brain still links intimacy with real life connection. An addicted person feels compelled to watch even when they don't want to. They struggle to enjoy real intimacy and often feel guilt or shame afterward. The addiction isn't about desire anymore, it's about compulsion. Why can't most people stop? Because they try to fight it with willpower alone. But willpower is like a battery, but it runs out. The brain has been rewired to crave porn as a survival need. Breaking free requires more than resisting. It requires replacing, building new habits, new coping mechanisms, and new rewards. Why should you aim to stay away from porn? Because the benefits are powerful. More focus and energy. Your brain stops wasting dopamine on screens and channels it into work, goals, and creativity. More confidence. You no longer feel controlled by a secret habit. Better relationships. Real intimacy feels stronger, deeper, and more fulfilling. More self respect. The pride of knowing you control your mind instead of being controlled by it. Here's how to start breaking free. One, awareness. Admit the cycle exists. You can't break what you deny. Two, replace the habit. Channel energy into exercise, learning, or creativity. Energy redirected becomes strength. Three, delay gratification. Train your prefrontal cortex by pausing when urges hit. Even small pauses rewire the brain. Four, seek connection. Real intimacy with people with purpose replaces the emptiness of pixels. Here's the big takeaway. Porn addiction is psychology turning comfort into compulsion, neurology hijacking the brain's reward system, and behaviorism reinforcing destructive loops. But philosophy reminds us the strongest mind is the one that masters desire instead of being mastered by it. So don't settle for being a prisoner to screens. Take back your energy, your focus, your relationships, and your power, because the freedom of controlling yourself feels far better than the slavery of fake pleasure. And hey, if this gave you a new perspective on porn addiction and you want more raw psychology explained in everyday language, make sure to like this video and subscribe. That way, you'll be here for the next one.